Hello, welcome again to my backyard. It's a beautiful fall day here in Michigan, and I thought I would do my first video series in my backyard while it's still warm enough to do so. I may continue when there's snow on the ground, I don't know, we'll see. But the first virtue I'd like to introduce for this video series is the virtue of magnanimity. Magnanimity, it's a little bit of a mouthful, but literally in Latin, magna means large, and anima means soul. So it's the virtue of large soulness, or striving for excellence. So again, what is this virtue? It's the virtue that pushes us out of our comfort zone. It's the virtue that encourages and empowers and gives us the courage to pick the nobler decision, the nobler act. How often in our life do we kind of sink into our comfort zone, or we shy away from difficulties because of fear of our inability? The virtue of magnanimity gives us that courage of heart and soul to tackle the obstacles ahead of us, the obstacles before us, and allows us to strive for excellence. So why is magnanimity important? In our everyday life, we have millions of small decisions and then sometimes big decisions to make. And the virtue of magnanimity reminds us and helps us strive for making essentially excellent decisions and acting in an excellent way. As a student, instead of maybe staying in your comfort zone, maybe your parents are asking you to do something multiple times, the virtue of magnanimity would essentially say, follow their instructions or follow what they're saying the first time they ask. Don't have them ask you 3 or 4 times, but do it the first time. The virtue of magnanimity would empower that student who is really maybe talented at the piano to play in music ministry at church, to let their gifts be glorified. The virtue of magnanimity helps students, individuals, all of us understand true humility. True humility is understanding the gifts and talents that God has given us and giving Him the glory and not trying to receive all the glory for ourselves, not living for ourselves, but living for God and knowing that we are His sons and daughters. So how do we grow in the virtue of magnanimity? I would say a very easy, simple, practical way is to just put your heart into each activity that you're doing. So if you're a student and you have your homework or you're doing your online class, putting your heart into it. Be intentional, saying, I want to be excellent in this right now. If you're a parent, for me, I'm having to do the dishes or making dinner. It can be monotonous and seem like it doesn't mean anything. But for me, I have to intentionally say, I want to put my heart into these chores. I want to put my heart into dinner. I want to put my heart into this video. So always having that desire for excellence on the forefront. So when we have choices and we have to decide, do I do this or I do that, the virtue of magnanimity will help us say, I want to be excellent and I want to strive for the more nobler route. So I hope that was a helpful tidbit of virtue for this month. I'll be praying for you and have a great October, and God bless.